Thanks for watching today's deep dive into celebrity, innocence, and public judgment. We've seen that the spotlight can magnify both successes and controversies. Today we discussed a public figure who is confident they will be acquitted. Fame casts long, veiled shadows. While the world praised Michael Jackson for his groundbreaking performances and musical genius, his personal life was scrutinized. I met him unexpectedly backstage while playing Fritz, which increased the intrigue. His unusual approach to greeting me by calling out was surreal and left a lasting impression. Jackson's complex story includes childhood star Macaulay Culkin. Culkin, 43, has finally revealed his opinion on Jackson, shedding light on a tumultuous relationship. This revelation could change public perceptions and clarify rumors and whispers. If this video piqued your interest or you're concerned about a celebrity's complexities and burdens, like, subscribe, and comment below. Your support helps us share in-depth analysis and untold stories. Join us next time as we uncover more truths and fame's secrets. Ask questions, be curious, and most importantly, stay tuned until then. Join us as we investigate. Let's revisit Jackson's most memorable moments before discussing Culkin's findings. Young Michael Jackson and his family. Michael Joseph Jackson was born in Gary, Indiana, on August 29, 1158, the eighth of 10 children, eighth child ever born. They lived in a modest Jackson Street two-bedroom house. His mother, Catherine Esther Jackson, played clarinet and piano and had musical ambitions. She worked part-time at Sears. She was a Jehovah's Witness. Michael's father, Joseph Walter Joe Jackson, worked as a crane operator at U.S. Earning Money, playing guitar in a local band and steel. Joe Jackson, a former boxer, founded the Jackson Brothers Band in 1964. The Jackson brothers, Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine, joined the band, while Michael and Marlon Jackson played backup. Michael, however, recalls Joe's harsh criticism and belt-based punishments during rehearsals. Joe admitted to flogging Michael, but Catherine noted that this was the norm at the time. Despite acknowledging the discipline, Michael's siblings said it kept them in line. Michael, however, was deeply affected and described his childhood as lonely and isolated. How did Michael Jackson become the pop king? Additionally, why is Culkin his friend? Stay focused to learn. Michael and Jermaine Jackson began singing lead in 1965, renaming the group the Jackson 5. This started Michael Jackson's music career and his rise to fame. They won a talent contest that year. The Jackson 5 performed at Chitlin Circuit Clubs and opened for Sam and Dave, the OJs, Gladys Knight, and Etta James on a lengthy Midwest tour in the following years. Michael dazzled with his dance moves to Robert Parker's Barefoot and his interpretation of The Temptations' My Girl. The band performed at high school dances, auditoriums, lounges, and clubs to gain experience and fame. In August 1967, they won an amateur competition at the Apollo Theater in Harlem while touring the East Coast. This started their breakthrough. Bobby Taylor signed them to Motown after seeing them open for him at the Regal Theater in Chicago in 1968. While competing in Miss Black America in 1969, the Jackson 5 made their television debut by singing It's Your Thing. Michael Jackson rose quickly to the band's center after Rolling Stone praised his music. In January 1970, the Jackson 5 reached their first #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart with I Want You Back. In May 1971, the family moved to a large Encino estate, a major step in their success. After leaving Motown in 1975, the Jackson 5 became the Jacksons and signed with Epic Records. Between 1976 and 1984, they toured extensively and released 6 more albums. Michael Jackson made his acting debut in Sidney Lumet's 1977 musical, The Wiz, playing the Scarecrow alongside Diana Ross, Nipsey Russell, and Ted Ross. After complaining about his nose, Jackson had his first rhinoplasty the following year. Stephen Hoffman performed the procedure. Off the Wall, Michael Jackson's 5th solo album, marked a shift from bubblegum pop to more complex sounds in 1979. The album had 4 top 10 hits in the U.S., including Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You. Jackson won the American Music Awards and a Grammy for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance after selling over 20 million copies worldwide. Michael Jackson released his sixth studio album, Thriller, in 1982 after working with Queen's Freddie Mercury on demos for duets like State of Shock, Victory, and There Must Be More to Life Than This. This record became famous worldwide. In 1983, the album topped U.S. charts and sold nearly 70 million copies worldwide. The album Thriller produced 7 Billboard Hot 100 chart toppers, including Billie Jean, Beat It, and Wanna Be Startin' Something. Michael Jackson and his brothers captivated 47 million viewers during the Motown 25 Yesterday, Today, Forever television special on March 25, 1983. Jackson revealed the moonwalk dance, which he had learned from Jeffrey Daniel 3 years earlier while performing Billie Jean solo. Jackson completed the look with a rhinestone glove, Jackson's awards run. Jackson then set a record with Santana by winning 8 Grammys in a night at the 26th Annual Grammy Awards. Thriller was named Album of the Year, and Quincy Jones was named co-producer. The song Beat It also won Record of the Year and Best Rock Vocal Performance, Male. Billie Jean won Best R&B Song and Male Vocal Performance. Jackson and Quincy Jones won Producer of the Year for Non-Classical Music, and Bruce Sweetein won Best Engineered Recording for Thriller. Jackson won 8 more awards at the 11th Annual American Music Awards, becoming the youngest musician to do so. He won other awards in addition to Favorite Male Artist, Favorite Soul/R&B Artist, and Favorite Pop Rock Artist. Beat It dominated Favorite Soul/R&B Video, Favorite Pop Rock Video, and Favorite Pop Rock Single. Thriller and the album were named the best R&B and pop rock albums, respectively. Michael Jackson's Thriller, a documentary about the classic music video, won the Grammy for Best Music Video, long form the same year. Time magazine called Jackson the star of records radio, rock video, praising him as a brilliant lyricist, an unmatched dancer, and a vocalist who transcended taste, style, and race. Time named Jackson Radio Rock Video Star. The New York Times famously said pop music had 2 categories, Michael Jackson and everyone else. In 1985, Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie wrote We Are the World for humanitarian purposes. The song raised money for underprivileged communities in the U.S. and Africa. One of the most successful singles ever, it sold 20 million copies worldwide. It grossed a staggering $63 million. We Are the World won 4 Grammys in 1985, including Song of the Year for Michael Jackson and Richie, Explosive Transactions and Catastrophic Events. Jackson and his siblings signed a $5 million PepsiCo deal in November 1983. This was a major U.S. advertising campaign in 1983 and 1984. The campaign included tour sponsorship, PR events, and in-store Pepsi New Generation promotions. Jackson offered to use Billie Jean, with the lyrics changed, for the campaign's jingle. On January 27, 1984, a terrible accident occurred during a Pepsi commercial shoot at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. Michael Jackson's scalp was burned by simulated concert pyrotechnics. Jackson settled with Pepsi for $1.5 million outside of court after receiving treatment and his 3rd rhinoplasty. He gave the full amount to the Brotman Medical Center in Culver City, which became the Michael Jackson Burn Center. In the late 1980s, Jackson and Pepsi signed a $10 million, 20-country deal. Jackson needed this deal to fund his 1987-1988 Bad album and global tour. He had endorsement deals with LA Gear, Suzuki, and Sony couldn't match his Pepsi partnerships. Many controversies and rumors surround Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had medium brown skin as a child. Starting in the mid-1980s, his complexion gradually lightened, sparking media speculation about skin bleaching. His dermatologist, Arnold Klein, diagnosed discoid lupus erythematosus and vitiligo in 1983. In vitiligo, skin patches lose pigment. Jackson was diagnosed with vitiligo and lupus that year and 1986, respectively. Vitiligo can cause emotional distress as well as uneven skin pigmentation. Jackson used light makeup and possibly skin bleaching lotions to depigment the affected areas. This made him very pale. Jackson met Klein and his assistant, Debbie Rowe, through their friendship. Debbie Rowe was Jackson's second wife and mother of his first 2. Jackson claimed to have had 2 rhinoplasty surgeries and a cleft chin surgery by 1993, in his book and interviews. He blamed his weight loss on diet changes to get a dancer's body in the early 1980s. His dizziness and weight loss throughout his life raised suspicions that he had anorexia nervosa. After Jackson's death, his mother revealed that he had planned cosmetic surgery to hide his vitiligo. To avoid looking like a spotted cow was his goal. He publicly stated that he had 2 cosmetic surgeries, but she claimed that he had had others, suggesting he was addicted to them. In 1986, Jackson was rumored to sleep in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber to slow aging. These rumors were denied by Jackson. However, he allegedly showed a photo of himself in a glass chamber as a promotional shot for a future project. Jackson reportedly used female hormone shots to maintain his high voice and wispy facial hair. He may have proposed to Elizabeth Taylor and kept a shrine to her. Jackson's manager, Frank Dilio, admitted Jackson used a chamber but denied most of the accusations. Jackson was portrayed in the media as an eccentric, like a Disney character who befriended animals due to his relationship with his pet chimpanzee Bubbles while touring Japan. Jackson also sought Joseph Merrick's skeletal remains, known as the Elephant Man. In September 1986, the Sun called Michael Jackson Wacko Jacko for using an oxygen chamber. He eventually hated this nickname. Jacko Macaco, a monkey used in animal fights in the early 19th century, is the source of the term Jacko. In Cockney slang, Jacko was often used to refer to monkeys, giving Jackson's nickname a pejorative connotation. Jackson collaborated with George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola on Captain EO, a $30 million 17-minute 3D film that premiered at Epcot and Disneyland in 1986. After that, Tokyo, Disneyland, and Euro Disneyland showed it. After Jackson's death, Captain EO was reintroduced to theme park screenings despite being pulled in the late 1990s. This showed his continued influence in the entertainment industry. Jackson left Jehovah's Witnesses in 1987, according to Ebony. Michael Jackson's mother, Katherine Jackson, suggested that Witnesses' concerns about his Thriller music video influenced this decision. In 1984, Michael Jackson testified that he disliked the film. Jackson said in a 2001 interview that he was still a Jehovah's Witness, despite reports that he had left. This statement shows his complex religious beliefs and how public opinion has changed. Charges of sexual misconduct against Michael Jackson. In August 1993, 13-year-old Jordan Chandler and his father, Evan Chandler, accused Jackson of sexual misconduct. Jordan said he and Jackson did immoral things. Jordan's mother initially told police she didn't think Jackson had sexually assaulted her son, but after a few days, she did. Evan was taped announcing his intention to file charges to support Jackson's claim that Evan was extorted by a jealous father. Jackson supported his claim with this recording. He was also accused of pedophilia by his older sister LaToya Jackson. She later recanted, saying her violent husband had coerced her into making the accusation. In August, police searched Jackson's home and found 2 large art books. These books showed naked boys playing, jogging, and swimming. Jackson claimed that if the book's contents were present, someone must have given them to him, and he hadn't checked them. Jordan Chandler's disclosure to authorities prompted an investigation into Jackson's private anatomy. The jury judged that the description did not match. According to reports, Jackson and the Chandlers settled out of court in January 1994 for $23 million. The police dropped charges on September 22, 1994, citing insufficient evidence and Jordan's absence. Jackson ended his 1993 Dangerous World Tour. This decision was made due to stress from sexual assault claims and painkiller dependence from scalp operations after a 1984 Pepsi commercial accident. He thanked his friend Elizabeth Taylor for her support during this difficult time, and his tour ended his Pepsi sponsorship deal. Jackson proposed to Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis's daughter, by phone in late 1993. Hugo Francisco Alvarez Perez officiated their May 1994 wedding in La Vega, Dominican Republic. Many in the media believed the marriage was a publicity stunt to distract from Jackson's legal issues and boost Presley's singing career. Presley filed for divorce in December 1995, citing irreconcilable differences. Jackson composed Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for Sega Genesis in 1994. After sexual assault allegations, he left the project and was not credited. The head of the Sega Technical Institute, Roger Hector, and Sonic co-creator, Naoto Oshima, have said Jackson's role was terminated and his music was changed due to the claims. However, Jackson's musical director Brad Buxer and others claim that Genesis recreated his music poorly and that Jackson was not credited for his work. Martin Bashir and his crew began filming Jackson in May 2002 and continued for months. In the February 2003 documentary, Living with Michael Jackson held hands with a 12-year-old child and discussed sleeping arrangements. Jackson claimed that his sleepovers with kids and sharing his bed in rooms with others were not sexual and that his words had been misinterpreted. He said his sleeping arrangements were non-sexual. On December 18, 2003, Santa Barbara authorities charged Jackson with 7 counts of child molestation and 2 counts of giving a juvenile alcohol. Jackson pleaded not guilty and denied the charges. People were tried. On January 31, 2005, in Santa Maria, California, V. Jackson began and ran until May. The trial caused Jackson stress, which harmed his health. If convicted, he could have served 20 years in prison. On June 13, 2005, Jackson was acquitted. FBI papers released in 2009 found no evidence of Jackson's criminal activity. These files describe the FBI's role in the 2005 trial and 1993 claims. On Michael Rosenbaum's Inside of You podcast, Macaulay Culkin discussed his friendship with Michael Jackson. Culkin's honest words gave a new perspective on their relationship, which is sometimes tarnished by sensationalism and controversy. He thought their relationship was honest, despite Jackson's fame. Culkin stressed that their relationship was normal and unaffected by Jackson's fame. Despite common myths that cast doubt and curiosity on their relationship, this representation stands out. Despite their age difference, Culkin believed their friendship went beyond society's norms. He stressed that personal relationships need not be explained to others to emphasize their independence. After meeting Michael Jackson, Macaulay Culkin, known for his boyish charm and charisma, found a similar spirit. Culkin valued their misinterpreted and speculative relationship. He saw Jackson as a guide and a surrogate elder brother who helped him navigate celebrity issues. Culkin felt nostalgic and awe when he remembered their first meeting. He met Jackson backstage at the Nutcracker, where he performed before becoming famous for Home Alone. After Jackson acknowledged Culkin's existence and started a serious relationship, his life changed. Their relationship, which began in the early 1990s after Culkin's 1990 Home Alone success, brought them comfort. Following Culkin's unexpected success with Home Alone, Jackson invited him to Neverland again. Culkin described the event as strange and unexpected. Despite Jackson's fame, Culkin was captivated by his childlike innocence. Jackson was a grown-up who still felt like a child to him, not a superstar. While dealing with success's pressures and expectations, Culkin felt lonely. He became famous overnight. Despite Hollywood recognition and admirers' affection, he felt alienated from his contemporaries, especially Catholic school students. Jackson became a trusted friend and traveler to help him cope with fame in this isolated environment. Jackson and Culkin were more than just famous people to Culkin. Their compassion and understanding were remarkable. Jackson, who had experienced fame as a child, saw in Culkin a kindred spirit who understood their shared struggles. Their friendship deepened over time due to shared experiences and admiration. Jackson's unwavering support helped Culkin navigate fame. Culkin's memories of their friendship haven't changed, demonstrating its longevity and nature. Despite the isolation of fame, their connection, based on shared experiences and understanding, gave Culkin a sense of belonging and validation. Through Jackson, Culkin showed their lighter side of friendship, full of laughter, warmth, and joy. Culkin portrayed Jackson as funny, generous, compassionate, charming, foolish, and sweet. Jackson's love of pranks made him fun. This mischievous side of Jackson contrasted with his fame. Culkin wondered why Jackson was romantically interested in him, revealing their friendship dynamics. Culkin's ability to see Jackson as a normal person without fame helped him form a friendship and share experiences with him. Jackson was a cultural icon in this world. Jackson's fame influenced his interactions with others. As Culkin noted that everyone was always impressed by him. Culkin loves Michael Jackson's daughter and is his friend. Macaulay Culkin's close relationship with Michael Jackson's family, especially his daughter Paris, weaves a tale of friendship, family, and protection. Bunny Ears, Culkin's podcast, showcases his eclectic interests and personality. Even though the podcast is on hiatus, he wants to connect with his listeners by sharing his life, interests, and unique worldview. Culkin's role as godfather of all three of Michael Jackson's children, including Paris, shows his deep trust and devotion to him. Paris and you, having matching tattoos, shows their special bond and forever reminder of their love. The sincere birthday message Paris posted on Instagram to Culkin in August shows their deep connection. Her statements show her deep love and adoration for Culkin and his importance in her life. During his interview on Marc Maron's WTF podcast, Culkin showed his concern for Paris's health and happiness. He avoids discussing their relationship to protect Paris from unwanted attention and maintain their privacy. Culkin admires Paris because he calls her tall, beautiful, and smart. Michael Jackson's trial. This is discussed by Culkin. Macaulay Culkin and Michael Jackson met at a world-changing trial. As he walked through the courthouse during Michael Jackson's 2005 trial, Culkin felt the gravity of the occasion. With each step, he was reminded of the terrible accusations against his friend, which contrasted with their happy memories. When adult Culkin was asked to testify in Jackson's defense, he was caught in a legal maelstrom that threatened to distort his memories of their friendship. Culkin took a break from the courtroom's tension on his testifying day. He relaxed temporarily. He tried to find a quiet place in the restroom, but Jackson was there. When we made eye contact, the air was thick with anticipation. Despite the gravity of the situation, their reconnection brought familiarity and comfort, silently acknowledging their bond. Avoiding conversation is best. "I don't want to influence your testimony," Jackson said, breaking the tension with concern and understanding. "I respect your right to your testimony." That brief meeting, full of shared experiences, illuminated their complex relationship during tragedy. Culkin laughed softly. Their brief embrace and quiet goodbye conveyed much. Despite years of speculation about his relationship with Jackson, Culkin has consistently denied any impropriety. An honest interview with Esquire in February 2020 allowed Culkin to address the allegations with conviction. First things first, honesty. Culkin said he had never hurt me and reflected years of investigation she had done. Culkin's unwavering stand showed his honesty and genuine experiences when pressured by the public. "I never saw him doing anything," he said. He seemed exasperated, and at this point, I had no reason to keep anything from him. As the interview progressed, Culkin's honesty revealed a deeper relationship with Jackson beyond fame and stardom. He acknowledged Jackson's finality with a somber tone. "The guy died," he said. "Now is the time to speak up." In a world of doubt, Culkin's commitment to the truth was clear. However, he reiterated that I could speak without hesitation. "I saw nothing and he did nothing." That's not true. Culkin reveals Jackson's persona behind the camera. Macaulay Culkin shed light on his complicated relationship with Michael Jackson in a 2014 Larry King interview. The studio light cast a gentle glow, adding to the solemnity of my seat opposite Larry King. Jackson was sheltered for decades, according to Culkin, who spoke intelligently about his privacy. He said Jackson was shielded and not gregarious. This discovery revealed Jackson's fragility and loneliness, challenging his superstar image. Jackson remained a mystery despite his global fame. He struggled to interact with others. Culkin responded to a question about Jackson's contentious relationships with children by saying that Jackson was bad at communicating, drawing from his own entertainment industry experiences. Jackson claimed he shared beds with minors, but Culkin offered a nuanced view. He implied that Jackson didn't understand why his admission was met with hostility. According to him, his parents, especially his estranged father, Kit Culkin, did not object to his relationship with Jackson. Culkin saw Jackson as more than a celebrity friend. "We were both trapped in an entertainment industry-created psychological wasteland. A common friend." Both felt the burdens of early stardom and lost childhoods because they were thrust into the spotlight at a young age. Due to their shared experiences, Culkin, the most famous child actor thanks to his Home Alone performance, and Jackson, the Jackson 5's talented lead vocalist, both carried the weight of their experiences. Despite their fame, they mourned their childhoods. Culkin's adult life was plagued by substance abuse, legal issues, and tabloid scrutiny, reflecting Jackson's own struggles with public scrutiny and speculation. Death, burial, legacy. Dame Elizabeth Taylor, 77, and other guests gathered despite the heat. Thanks for watching our video. If you liked this deep dive into today's topic and want to see more engaging content, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. We value your feedback, so please leave it below. See you next time for more insights and discussions. Keep exploring, learning, and sharing until then. Thanks for joining our community.